We meet Chloe, 7 years old, living alone with her father Henry, in a house she has never once stepped outside of. Henry's rule is absolute. She does not leave, no matter what, no exceptions, no matter how much she begs. When Chloe looks out her window, something's always off. Birds hang frozen in midair, like the whole world outside has simply stopped moving, like someone hit pause on the entire street. The first time Henry catches her staring out at it, he panics and yanks her away from the glass. There are bad people out there, people who hurt your mom. Chloe's never even seen a photo of her mother. She has no idea what she looked like, no idea what actually happened to her. And every time she asks, Henry finds a way to change the subject. He spent years trying to teach her how to act like a normal kid, hoping he can eventually convince a neighbor to legally adopt her and give her the normal life he can't. One afternoon, playing together, Chloe notices blood trickling from her father's eye. It's strange, but she's used to strange by now, and she doesn't ask questions. Later, alone in her room, she hears a woman crying from inside her closet. She creeps over, pulls the door open, and finds a woman sitting inside, screaming. Terrified, she runs to tell Henry. He checks the closet with her right there, calm and reassuring. It's empty. The next morning, Chloe spots a girl outside buying ice cream from a truck. Chloe loves ice cream more than almost anything, and without even thinking, she says out loud, "I want that too." Minutes later, that same girl is standing at Chloe's front door, ringing the bell, holding ice cream out for her like it's the most natural thing in the world. Chloe, thrilled, runs outside to grab it, right as Henry gets there and yanks her back in. He'd caught her calling the girl by name, easy and familiar, like they'd known each other for years. That's when it hits him. Chloe's never left the house, never spoken to a single person outside these walls. So how does she know this girl's name? "I don't know how I know it," Chloe insists, panic creeping into her voice. "I've never talked to anyone out there. I swear, Dad." Henry doesn't believe her. As punishment, he locks her in her room for the night. The next morning, when he opens the door, she's still furious with him, refusing to even look at him, and he realizes he was wrong to lock her up in the first place. He apologizes, and to make it up to her, heads out to buy her that ice cream himself. When he finally comes back, he looks like he's been in a brutal fight, bloodied, shaking, clearly in bad shape, like something out there caught up with him. He disappears straight into the kitchen without a word. Chloe digs through his bag looking for the ice cream, finds nothing, and gets furious all over again. Inside the kitchen, Henry's patching himself up alone, wrapping his wounds with shaking hands, until the pain drops him unconscious on the floor. Hearing the ice cream truck outside, Chloe grabs some cash from a safe and sneaks out to buy it herself. The vendor is an old man named Snowcone, warm and gentle with her right from the start, the kind of stranger who somehow feels instantly familiar. When he offers to take her to the park, she says yes without hesitating, and they drive off together in his truck, ice cream in hand, Chloe grinning the entire ride. On the way, Chloe spots a huge public warning sign, a man's face on it, blood dripping from one eye, with instructions to call 911 if you ever see someone like that. Snowcone asks her, almost too casually, "Your eyes ever done anything like that?" "No," Chloe says. She's lying. She's seen her dad's eye bleed plenty of times. She just doesn't mention it. Some instinct tells her not to. At the park, Snowcone pushes her on the swings and asks something else. Is there anything she can do that nobody else can? It's not a random question. He's testing her, trying to figure out if she's exactly what that warning sign describes. When she doesn't answer, he pushes the swing harder, faster, higher than she's comfortable with, until she's actually scared and asking him to stop. A police officer notices and steps in, telling Snowcone to back off. As the officer approaches, Snowcone quietly leans in and tells Chloe something that stops her cold. "These are the same people who killed your mother." Furious, Chloe screams at the officer to leave, and he does. Instantly, no argument, no follow-up question, turning on his heel like she'd given him a direct order from a superior. Turns out, Chloe has a power of her own. Whatever she says out loud, with enough conviction, people simply obey. That's exactly why the girl at the door showed up with ice cream the moment Chloe wished for it out loud. Snowcone drives her home, and on the way, he tells her the truth. He's her grandfather. Her mother was his daughter. He shows her a photo of a woman Chloe's never once laid eyes on in her entire life, and she stares at it the whole ride, memorizing every detail. Then he hands her a small packet of powder, telling her that if she can slip it into Henry's drink, the two of them could finally go out into the world together. No more locked doors, no more hiding. Back home, Henry wakes up and finds Chloe in her room, clearly still upset with him for keeping so much from her. She heads to bed without saying goodnight, but before falling asleep, she pulls out the photo Snowcone gave her, staring at her mother's face for the first time, memorizing it like it might disappear. Then the crying starts again from the closet. She opens it, and this time, the woman inside matches the photo exactly. It's her mother. "I'm your daughter." Her mother refuses to believe it. "That's not possible." Voice broken. "You're just a hallucination." She looks like she's been trapped somewhere for years and screams at Chloe to leave. Chloe backs away, shaken. Turns out Chloe has a second power. She can picture someone clearly enough in her mind to actually see them wherever they really are, and they can see and speak back to her too. Chloe wanders into her dad's room while he sleeps, and the TV's playing a news report. 10 years ago, it explains, a man whose eye bled just like the ones on those warning signs killed 10,000 people using abilities no ordinary human should have. People like him are called freaks. They look completely human. They walk among everyone else undetected, but they're not human at all. After that attack, the government created an agency called the ADF, whose entire job is hunting down every freak on the planet, locking them away for good, and shooting on sight any freak still roaming free in public. Chloe's devastated hearing all this. Grief-stricken, she pictures her mother again, and the crying starts once more from the closet. This time, she manages to convince her mother that she really is her daughter, describing details only a daughter could know. Turns out her mother is a freak too, which is exactly why Chloe's power lets her reach her at all, no matter the distance between them. Right now, her mother's locked away in an ADF prison with countless other freaks, and Chloe is determined to set her free, whatever it takes. When she tells Henry all of this, he refuses to believe it. As far as he's known for years, his wife is dead. Desperate to actually leave the house, Chloe slips snow cones powder into Henry's drink. He catches on that something's off with it and refuses to let her go outside. Furious, Chloe simply tells him, "Dad, go to sleep." He drops instantly into a deep sleep, her power working on him too. For the first time in her life, Chloe's own eye starts bleeding. Just a thin trickle, but enough to make her stomach drop when she sees it in the mirror. She rushes to her grandfather and finally tells him the whole truth. Her mother is alive, trapped, scared, still out there somewhere. Snowcone, thrilled his daughters actually survived after all these years, immediately starts plotting a rescue. Disguised as a priest, he takes Chloe to a cafe where ADF officer in charge Ray is waiting. He tells Ray that Chloe is a freak and insists on being locked up with her, since she's just a small child who needs looking after and shouldn't be left alone. Ray scans Chloe's eye with a special light, confirming the blood trace that marks her as a freak. When they check Snowcone's face though, they find nothing. Proof, they assume, that he's just an ordinary human, harmless, exactly as he'd planned. They're wrong. Snowcone's a freak too. He's just found a way to mask his own trace with a special liquid, undetectable to their scanners. Ray, it turns out, is a genuinely dangerous woman. She doesn't want to lock freaks away out of public safety. She wants to weaponize them, turn them into soldiers, for whatever war she's planning. She keeps calling Chloe the freak, over and over, a word Chloe absolutely hates, and finally screams at her to stop saying it. "Don't call me that," and something in her voice makes Ray flinch. Ray panics and calls in every officer in the building. They move to arrest Chloe and her grandfather on the spot, but a split second later, both of them turn invisible and vanish into thin air. Snowcone's actual power is disappearing at will, and he uses it to smuggle Chloe out clean, right past a room full of armed officers, who never even see them leave. On the drive back, Snowcone tries to convince Chloe to come live with him so he can properly train her powers, teach her control before she hurts herself or someone else by accident. She insists on going back to her dad's house instead, and thanks to her own ability to make people do what she says, Snowcone finds himself agreeing against his own better judgment, driving her home despite everything in him telling him not to. But Henry suddenly intercepts them. By then, Henry has already figured out that Snowcone was the one who took his daughter. Using his time bubble, he captures Snowcone, ties him up back at his house. Chloe is about to be hit by a speeding car. At that exact moment, Henry shows up and saves her with his time bubble, where time moves normally inside it, while everything outside slows to a near standstill, like the whole world just holds its breath. That's exactly why the birds outside her window always looked frozen. Henry had been keeping that bubble running around their house the whole time, just to keep her safe. Henry finally tells her the truth. He's a freak too. All he ever wanted was to give her a normal life, so he takes her to a neighbor's house, offering them a large sum of money to legally adopt her. The money's enough to convince them until their daughter refuses, insisting Chloe's been showing up in her dreams every single night, convinced something's wrong with her, that she's not a normal kid. Chloe uses her power to talk them into it anyway, but the effort makes her eye bleed right in front of the neighbor, who instantly realizes exactly what Chloe is. Henry rushes her home before things get worse, practically dragging her out the door. For the first time, Henry understands his daughter isn't just like him. She's already learned to actually use her power superpowers. Terrified for her safety, he locks her in her room. Alone, Chloe pictures her mother again, only to watch, helpless, as a man drags her mother away by force, her screams echoing through whatever room she's actually trapped in. Chloe has no way to physically intervene from where she is, no matter how hard she tries to reach through. The next day, she tells Henry her mother is definitely alive, definitely in danger. He still won't believe her. Grief has a way of hardening into certainty over the years. That's when Snowcone finally tells Henry the full story. Years ago, he and his daughter, Chloe's mother, attacked an ADF prison together, trying to free every freak locked inside. The raid failed. He escaped. His daughter, he believed for years, died in the attack, and he'd carried that guilt every single day since. It's only now he realizes she survived and has been imprisoned this entire time, and he's determined to get her out, whatever it costs him. Looking out her window, Chloe notices the neighbor talking to police officers outside, hushed and urgent. Something's clearly wrong. She hurries to her father and grandfather and uses her power to show them exactly what's being said between the neighbor and the officers, projecting the conversation like a memory she's borrowing. Her suspicion is confirmed. The neighbor is telling them everything, insisting Chloe is a freak and needs to be eliminated before she hurts anyone else. Chloe uses her power to seize control of one of the officers and turn him against the neighbor, causing her eye to start bleeding in front of everyone. The other officers, assuming she's a freak too, shoot her dead on the spot and haul the rest of her family away in custody. Henry is horrified. How could you take someone's life like that? He demands. Snowcone steps in to explain. If Chloe hadn't acted, the ADF would have killed all of them without hesitation. Chloe retreats to her room, picturing her mother again, and sees doctors strapping her to a stretcher, clearly preparing to kill her. Henry and Snowcone rush in, both now able to see her too. For the first time in years, Henry lays eyes on his wife, Mary, and finally believes she's truly alive. Watching her suffer, devastated, he fires his gun at the doctors in front of him, but it does nothing, because they're not actually in the room. They're inside the ADF facility, miles away. Chloe takes control of the situation herself, seizing the doctor's mind and forcing him to inject himself with the very drug meant to kill Mary. He drops dead instantly. She then takes hold of another officer and uses him to set her mother free. Then the doorbell rings. Ray has arrived with a full team of officers. She's figured out that Chloe's entire family are freaks, and she's not taking any more chances. Henry throws up a time bubble around the house, slowing everything outside to a crawl, buying them precious seconds. Snowcone uses his masking liquid on Henry's face, hiding his eye trace, but Ray already knows the truth going in and shoots him anyway the moment he steps outside. Snowcone tries to help his son-in-law, but he's overwhelmed by officers and forced to vanish and flee, leaving Henry behind. Meanwhile, Chloe's guiding her mother through the prison from her room, helping her navigate an escape in real time, whispering directions only her mother can hear. Ray spots what's happening and turns her gun on Chloe, but Snowcone throws himself in front of the shot at the last possible second, taking the bullet meant for his granddaughter and sacrificing his own life to save her. Furious and grieving, Chloe seizes control of Ray's own mind and makes her shoot herself dead on the spot. She reconnects with her mother immediately, using her power to turn ADF soldiers against each other, buying Mary just enough chaos to slip toward the exit. With everything she's got left, Chloe manages to force the prison door open, and Mary walks out, finally, completely free. The strain of it all is too much. Chloe collapses, unconscious. Outside, when Ray doesn't check back in, the remaining ADF officers realize something's gone badly wrong inside, and they make the call to launch a missile straight at Henry's house, done negotiating. Henry, still alive despite his injuries, throws up his time bubble the instant he sees it coming, slowing the missile down just enough to buy himself precious seconds. He scoops up Chloe and sprints for the door, every step costing him. They clear the house just before the missile hits, and the entire building goes up behind them in a single massive explosion, the shockwave knocking them both to the ground. The blast wakes Chloe. She looks over and finds her father lying beside her, badly hurt, taking his final breaths. "You're the most beautiful daughter in the world," voice barely holding together. "I always wanted to be a normal dad, take you outside, play with you like any other father would. I never got the chance. Our powers were supposed to make us stronger. Instead, they're the reason we never got to live a normal life." He dies right there, in her arms. Chloe is shattered, sobbing over over him. Meanwhile, the remaining ADF soldiers close in, weapons raised, ready to finish what they started, determined to kill her too and end this once and for all. Then Mary arrives. She can fly. For the first time in her entire life, Chloe finally meets her mother face to face. Mary promises her she'll always be safe now, that she'll protect her, hide her from the entire world if she has to. No, I don't want to hide anymore. I want a normal life. I want to go wherever I want, whenever I want. Mary smiles and agrees. She lifts Chloe into her arms, and the two of them rise together into the sky, disappearing into the clouds above, free, together, for the very first time. So tell us in the comments, if you had one of Chloe's powers, which one would you actually want?